I'm bored. I'm at Central Market. I just upped the sales today. And I got myself some food. I've been laughing at my family horrors and they're so gross. So some of them may have extorted money out of you, pretending to be your friends. So you have like 25 kids trying to include my son Jaden and my daughter Kehlani in that. Trying to extort money out of people. And then they get mad at them. And they go on to fight with people. They're like, how about, how is it that you with just 2 kids and I with 25, we got the same amount from her? Really question that I grew up around for the most part. And they look to extort money out of people to see who's more powerful. Post that picture. No. What else? What else? What else? I took I took a picture earlier about downtown. It's Catholic Charities open. And what else? According to what? I'm telling that behind this post, you can decapitate everyone that steals from me. And stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets into it, and receive money. You can decapitate Andrew Suarez for ruining my 40th birthday. He thinks he's gonna take me hostage and Mila and rape my children. He's stupid if he knew how to do an orgy right. I would like gladly offer my children up for sex when they were right as soon as they were born. That's what my mother did to me. I'm not emotionally damaged from that. It's the sexual harassment from those grossness that people refer to them as like esa gente no se le puede invitar a orgía. Yo no te invito porque tú te portas bien, pero you're not attracted to my crowd. And I'm like, that's okay. Pero those people that attend orgies for the most part, my family of origin, they get a free invite to an event and then start charging for it. Very rudely, and then they want to extort a gift out of someone for being at an orgy with them. Ew, ew, ew. Black man, they're so gross. Ew, 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 ew. Ew. Charging my phone here and my laptop. Sorry. Did that picture not good? There's no electricity in my apartment. You can decapitate everyone that's caused me to not have money, so there's no electricity in my apartment. They think I'm gonna legally prostitute myself to them. I don't do illegal prostitution. I don't see it as a way to sustain oneself ever. Ew. I protect my culo and my vagina, and my mouth, and my hands, and my legs, and my arms, and my hair. I don't want to be fed the wrong way. Those people that I grew up around don't know how to gauge intelligence. They're stupid. And that picture here. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I missed data. I missed good money. What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate everyone that knows that I had sex with that girl before my marriage to him, and will say that I wasn't a virgin when I married him through the Catholic Church. Define virginity. You're a slum bucket asquerosidad. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm so bored. I'm bored. Anyways, I'm doing so hard, so good. Not posting on Facebook about the people that steal from me. I've already put in my notice to the FBI that I'm asking for the people who use me to get the death penalty within the next 5 to 10 years, so the FBI may do it sooner or may not do it. The FBI is like, possibly, girl, I'm not supposed to do your job either. You don't interfere with mine, I don't interfere with yours. My daddy raised me to be a mercenary that kills in self defense. And I'd rather be dancing. Those to my dad, I'm a failure. I turned out to be an excellent world peace leader, but that's part of being a mercenary. It's like, guys, I don't know if I have peers, but I've never gone to fight out. Pero I wouldn't want to be like living life killing all of you. Very much probably. For not behaving like well, not being the law constantly on a daily basis. So like if you could go to cinema, my list wouldn't be of like hundreds and my grandmother would have thousands and I will Puerto Rico alone. Millions. Outside of that, porque I don't know anyone like me. What else? I'm bored. Anyways, I'm a lot of people. So Yandel Malave and I possibly met at an orgy when I was little. And some of these people rape him and possibly have him hostage is thinking like, well, I'm gonna occupy the space that Arlene would have occupied with him had she been married to him. No, embarrassing so girls. Ew, they're stupid. Ew, 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 ew. I'm bored. I miss them legs, my own. What else? What else? I'm born. That's impressive. I should share that with you. So with me comes like to a lot of places that I visit. Like a lot of people are like, oh, she'll be here. She's in town or the city. And the suggestion sometimes will become my family of origin, sadly. Because this poor thing was planned decades ago. Some people are patient. They're like, thank you for your good behavior. You now have more entertainment. Some people like to stick to a city that has only birds besides their own home. where they can pay to enter. Or to some people, a lot of this redundant. Pero Murad couldn't possibly ever film a huge stadium, for example. Or I have, there's different sizes of venues for that reason. And there's two places that are too small for Murad. Nicky Jam, when he sang in Tampa, the stadium area capacity for people to sit at Ellie Golden was like bit available. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I have a book for me to read. I'm more. Who's gifting me money? In my apartment tomorrow. Now I have money for food. What else? What else? What else? What else? Who's gifting me money today? Or paying for my electricity? That's the customer number. You can pay for it yourself if you like. There's a one-time payment option. My phone number is 210-668-9169-7820. So essentially, la lacra más basura asquerosa de este planeta que thinks he's a socialite steals my money. And then today he wants to go around and say, I gave my phone number to Cuatro Jeva. Yarlene gave her phone number online for people to pay for her electricity because she's broke. It's like America Joe. Like literally he's competing for his dad's attention. His dad is my first cousin. So he wants me to talk about me. He's embarrassing so gross. Es un bruto asqueroso. Una basura. You can decapite ese Alberto Suarez, basura, asquerosidad. Oh, he's on Facebook? But then it say Andrew first. What? They try to get one because they're like, if you don't put in the effort to take the space of who I'm currently fucking, I'm just you. They're very disrespectful towards themselves, girl. Yeah. They're embarrassing. They'll literally say, I'm fucking so and so because I'm bored. Go on and take me on a date already. Like, isn't that right? What you're doing? No rehabilitation clinic. What else? When I'm financially stable, I plan to meet people I could look at. My dad doesn't like it when people talk to him about me. Like, como que canción dramática. And then laughs. Yeah, she loves all of them. What else? Wow. And then I think he would get nervous if he would receive the news that I killed someone. In self-defense, he would possibly be excited, but then he would complain, be like, "That was the wrong person. You have to start with this one, this one, this one." And people study the order of how they band together and click. Who's the leader of the group, supposedly, that a lot of them follow. And they're like, "Well, we killed this one, this one, this one, this one." These other ones se tranquilizan, maybe temporalmente, pero que no se tranquilizan. You can stay under the job that tried to force me to get raped by Andrew over 12 decades ago. La tipa muerta, una asquerosidad. He steals my money so I can't date him. And then he cries to people and says, que su asquerosidad es illegal prostitute showed up in my parents' home. And said, you need to have sex with your husband. What if we have a threesome? So as I see them, I'm like, okay, now that they can understand, they understand this is just my civil duty. And I didn't get to kill them because I couldn't remember how is it that I've met them before. I never think about Benjamin Suarez or the sons that raped me. That steal my money, that get in the way of me receiving money. Ever. I thought they were dead actually when I saw them last year. I'm extremely disappointed that no one has killed them in self defense for me. Who's gifting me money today? Wow. What else? What else? What else? What else? I miss dating. I miss getting lonely. I miss dating. I miss getting lonely. They think they're buying for who will have the spot to look after Jada and Kaylani because they already replaced me as illegal prostitutes. Then they try to take kids to have them get unhealthy. They're embarrassing. Esa gente vieja, yeah. Hell. That as teens were warned decades ago, if you don't stop your dumb behavior, you're gonna get the death penalty. Or at least ridiculed. Porque yo me río de esa gente. Uf, que se me río. My dad gets mad because I do his son doesn't get. So that can do that you can fulfill your job of killing them yourself in self-defense. You need to seek the death penalty for them. So that I'm doing. What else? What else? What else? They're stupid. They get obsessed over who it is that they witness one having sex with. Son un hombre. What else? What else? What else? I'm born. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. They attended orgies where I attended, and now you're stalking me, trying to get a picture. Ew, they're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. They keep acquiring leeches con boca, pues es asquerosidad. Ew, 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 ew. Estos tipos son una basura, son un asco. Oh, dangerous stuff. Anyways, I was saying that these people are so disgusting. They were invited to orgies, possibly where I attended some of them, and they steal from me and they get in the way of me receiving money. They steal my homes and my vehicles after my vagina pictures. They're stalkers. They're embarrassing. Una gente tan jíbara. Qué gente tan jíbara. Ellos se emocionan por una invitación a la orilla and then they start stalking one just to learn every rules. Ew, 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 ew. Ew, 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 ew. I'm so bored. I had these 4 BMWs by 1999 that I've yet to drive, and these come bucket acquisition to any fucking pendeja que le mamara el pene. Pretending to be me, they went on to my vehicles to them for them to drive. They're invading, they're so gross, and then there's una puerca, including those people on the left, they all possibly drove my vehicles without my permission, pretending to be me while I'm hanging out by myself or with Jada and Kelani. Ew, 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 ew. They're disgusting, these people. Ew, ellos no son hombres nunca. Oh. They retaliated against me because I never took them out on a date. I'm feeling worthy. I don't have to invite them out on a date. Ew. That was very short-lived. Oh. Ew. They lack maturity, obviously. We're going to kill me too. Oh. Ew, ew, ew. They're not, man. They're embarrassing, actually. Ew. I don't ever want them near me. When I'm financially stable, plan to travel with Planet Meet before ideally for the Ampersand. I'm excited about that. They're disgusting. They're stalkers. Go after my vagina pictures. Ew, ew, ew. They're embarrassing. Oh, they're stupid. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I've yet to meet a smart person. Mostly everyone that I go to. What else? What else? What else? What else? I have a puzzle book in my bag. Yeah, Rebecca Washington has a rape baby castle. Oh, she's a terrorist. She worked at Nordstrom, possibly stalking me so that I wouldn't succeed financially. What else? 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 They're disgusting. So gross. Prostitute seekers. They speak on places. I would work if I don't have any money. Trying to deter me from reporting them to the police. Trying to get me to move in at least with one of them. Carlito and I have a home together, and my name is in the title. Se cree que he puts la Mona Lisa somewhere. They all think of him Es un puerco asqueroso. See people and think who they fucked before. Ew. I don't remember. They don't make an impression in my life ever. So I didn't see her and think like, oh, that's an illegal prostitute. As a child stayed in my home without my permission. And that's not other illegal prostitute that stayed in my home without my permission. Ew, esa tipa no. Ew, 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 ew. What else? Ew, ew, ew. I'm seeing the you can decapitate David Ledesma that raped me in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. Tipo un puerco is after my vagina pictures after making me miserable. You can decapitate Jorge Avilés. Shit, no se va a casar conmigo, va a pedir dinero. Is that why he said shit? She's not gonna beg me to marry her? How am I gonna get molested? Ew. Tipo un puerco phone. You can decapitate Cyrus David Ledesma. You can decapitate David Ledesma. You can decapitate David Ledesma. Este tipo un puerco me roba mi dinero, se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso. Me roba mi vehículo. Gets in the way of me receiving money. I've heard he illegally he possibly pestered Edgar and tried to pretend to be me with Jaden Kalani, calling them son and daughter. He's embarrassing. He's so gross. I filed a rape report against him a few weeks ago. He's disgusting. Ew, give him puerco. Ew, ew, ew. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So la Cambaque acquisition. Asquerosidad. Fakes being in a relationship with David Ledesma. And then we'll go on to say, pero a mí él no me habla así. A mí él me dice, honey, dinner plans at 7. And she's after my vagina pictures. Esa tipa es una puerca, Patricia Mercado. Dan un asco, son una basura. They fake being in a relationship with David Ledesma, just waiting, trying to rape me. They think that he's the Mexican lover that is gonna get them in bed with me. Still, ew, I didn't think they would go through with this. They're stupid. That's what they do with their lives. So they have no goals in life and they just pick a person to legally prostitute themselves as. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. You can decapitate the Ledesma 23. You can decapitate the Ledesma. You can decapitate Richie Hill that raped me in 2023. You can decapitate Richie Hill that raped me in 2023. You can decapitate David Ledesma is possibly trying to cheat her because it's like, I don't get an invite to Sama from her. I'm not interested in him. So they label one a hoe. They don't accept rejection. They're like, well, then I must rape her. Ew. They're embarrassing still in 2024. Ew. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They're embarrassing so girls. What else? You can decapitate the village that steals from me. You can decapitate Richie Hill. Rape me in 2023. You can decapitate Richie Hill that raped me in 2020. He possibly has money to date me and just to mock me with the rest. Didn't give me money and let me left to die at a homeless shelter. They're embarrassing, they're right. Yo gané capitera con back acquisition illegal prostitutes Sarah Francia, una puta asquerosa que se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso, me roba mi dinero, se hace pasar por mí. Yo gané capitera San Rose Peña. Yo gané capitera Sarah has no goals in life ever. Yo gané capitera Berenice Venegas. Yo gané capitera equally prostitute themselves as me. Ew, they're embarrassing. These people are so gross. Ew, so I'm hoping that the death penalty within the next 5 to 10 years, so there's no guarantee of that. And I don't keep up with anyone in the FBI. I'm not gonna befriend them just to be in the know. I'm not gonna marry whoever leads them right now just to be in the know. Yeah, I might have met him when I was little. And like any other operation for them, that may be specifically one he's leading at the moment because decades ago he was even introduced to some of the illegal prostitutes as to look who's going to be leading the FBI one possibly if he doesn't change his mind. Does his mother first? You better get your behavior corrected right now. And they're like trying to touch him. They're like, ay, que nene más lindo. Do you want some of my pussy right now? And people are like, what the fuck? It's like even if you're doing that behind the scenes, like this is a sorrow that a lot of people don't want to be seeing that right now. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm sending my GoFundMe campaign to people through Instagram. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. So they were warned. It may not be him. Is he just gonna be leading for the next 4 years and it's the next one, or it won't just happen? That's a pretty dress. Anyways, what else? What else? What else? That's a pretty dress. What else? Who follows specs? I'm sending my GoFundMe campaign to people. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. What else? What else? So those people that steal from me, they say, "Well, I could be a mercenary. Why doesn't her dad let me be it? I would kill everyone that I don't like." And people, this is exactly why we're sticking to the penalty. We're stupid here. It's like, how did stupid get to this party talking to us? Ew, they're embarrassing. What else? 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 And people would be like, okay, she fakes being fulano and fulano's girlfriend and boyfriend and then gets an invite. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. I don't shop in Nordstrom. I'm not on money. Who's gifting me money today? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel the planet and meet people, ideally polyamorous men. What else? What else? What else? Already sent it to this person. When was the May 8th? What else? 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 When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel. You can decapitate Evelyn trying to put me on a wheelchair for her to rape me. You can Lorenzo Savella is trying to put me on a wheelchair for her to rape me. You can decapitate Giver Lorenzo Savella is trying to put me on a wheelchair for her to rape me. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons that rape me, that steal my money, that get in the way of me receiving money, steal my vehicles, and they're like, I want to see her sibling rape. And he thinks that I'm gonna take him out on a date. Eso sería como like that little kid that never behaves, and then he's like, for this hour I'll behave, please take me on a date. Estúpido. Oh, eso es un puerco asqueroso. Ew, ew, ew. It begs for sex. And literally, that's what it shouts to one. I never behave well, but just to be around you, I'll behave, I'll behave. Ew, oh, es un asco. Ew, 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 ew. I'm bored. I'm bored. I have a magazine here trying to reach out. Who's gifted me money? What else? What else? What else? What is Cuban Convert? Oh, that's so good. I'll save this one and try that recipe someday. What else? What else? What else? What else? I miss making sofrito with Jaden Kelani. What else? What else? I miss making sofrito with Jaden. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate everyone that right now is in my home without my permission. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. So basically, they've taken me hostage, thinking that I'll expose them. It's natural to me for them to be like, "Is she's a conqueror? Then shouldn't we just kill everyone in apartment complexes and urbanizaciones? Porque isn't that them occupying her home?" So they just want to kill for fun, and they're looking for an excuse to use me as a pawn in their terrorism, and I don't succumb to that. They're stupid. Ew, 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 ew. They're so gross. What else? 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 When I'm fighting to save or plan to travel, plan and meet people, ideally polyamorous men. I need to clean my apartment. I'll be doing that tomorrow. I'm bringing food from here to my apartment, possibly a banana, so I can eat it tomorrow. And then head over to HEB on North Rosilla. Get some food there. So if I charge my phone enough, I can just head over to the one on New Braunfels, clean my apartment, and then head over to the library because it closes at 8 tomorrow, so I can do that. What else? What else? What else? Decapitate David Ledesma, aka I know we're not compatible, but please let me be the one that's a rapist. Ew, ew, ew. El tipo es un puerco, una basura, una asquerosidad. I don't ever want him near me. Ew, wants to trap me into marriage just to make me miserable. So disgusting. In the meantime, like on Bucket Acquisition, they're like, oh my god, because they're sex addicts and they're rapists. They don't let go of those dicks ever. They're like, David, this man so sexy still. Ew, they settle for basura, literally like themselves. Ew, they're disgusting. They're disgusting. They ruin the party for everyone that's an adult during those orgies. They're stupid. They don't understand that one can reject them. So lovely. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I want to tan. What else? What else? What else? I miss dating. I miss Kimani. I don't know who that is. The name sounds familiar. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel, plan and meet people, ideally polyamorous one. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Do I want to shop at Old Navy for Jaden and Kaylani right now? That top is so cute. What else? 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 Everything was open during. That's me right there. What was I up to here? COVID-19. And I still don't have money for food. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm still a victim of that. Still a victim of genocide. Dana and Gilani are separated from me. Excuse me. One of the most challenging times in our industry. Everyone cries when bullies are trying to beat up a person that does good for the planet, not only like a person, and they're trying to starve her publicly. It just brings laughter. Then are like, this doesn't affect me, so they're just stupid. Bullying her and can't do anything to help her. It's not in me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And it's close to home. I'm being raped by her sister at the moment. How do I? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Why is the challenging times? ¿Cuánto dinero tienen los hijos de Benjamin Suárez Lorenzo que me roban mi dinero? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? He wants to show me what every illegal prostitute that he hires did on my 40th birthday. El tipo es un puerco, una basura, una asquerosidad. Él se cree que es importante en mi vida. Él se enamoró del mismo a través de mí decades ago, possibly, and doesn't know how to process that still. Like, peor que un nene chiquito, una asquerosidad. What else? So wants to take me prisoner and kill me. Possibly just feeling gratitude that I do respect for him. And a lot of people that I grew up around don't. What else? 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 I'm bored. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, and I was planning on not blaming anyone today. Where have I seen this place? Be nice ice cream. Skip. What else? What else? What else? What is this? Oh, look at that. 40 years of invitations, etc. What else? What else? Where is this? Let's get there. How fun are those? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, I want a pen. What else? 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 Dear God, hopefully they're not victims of anger and all they're raping them. Was he there? Raping them? Ew. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I love reading this. What else? 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 Magnolia Pancake House. I miss it. I want to visit again. What else? What else? What else? What else? It's some brunch spots suggestion. Anyways, who's killing themselves today for stealing from me, for getting in the way of me receiving money, and for stealing my money? I'm trying to coordinate with the army, at least thousands of people to die. For stealing from me, for staying in my homes without my permission, for getting in the way of me receiving money. What else? 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 Ew, look at all these people that I'm seeking the death penalty for. They're mostly people that I met in Agua, Puerto Rico. And there was just someone at an orgy and they steal my money. They possibly rape him and try to take him hostage. With like, ha ha ha, that boy that you like at an orgy is mine now. Huh? What? These are people of adult age that they're so embarrassing. They stay in my homes without my permission. They rape, they steal my money. They get they're after my vagina picture. They're so disgusting. They're embarrassing. Ew, 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 so girls. Fo, que gente puerca, que gente puerca. Dan un asco, son una basura. They're trying to put me in a wheelchair, along with the people on the pictures on the left, away from Jada and Kaylani, trying to rape me, trying to bathe me, and then in my parents' home that I don't want to live in. They kill for territory. My parents' home has a really nice view of the mountains and then the beach. So they're trying to put me in a wheelchair. They're trying to traffic me into my parents' home for Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons to rape me like they used to rape me when I was little. They would just barge into my bedroom unannounced without an invitation and rape me there. They're disgusting. And then they're like, we'll kill Arlene and I'll move you in there after her dad dies. I'll keep her home. Le enseñaron a comprar casa through a realtor decades ago for those purposes. Para que deje de estar violando y deje de estar robando dinero para acquire territory that doesn't even belong to him. Porque he may not even last a day in the home and someone will, lo va a linchar y lo va a matar por haber done something that's out of the norm. Los terrenos se compran, no se roban. Y un puerco, una basura, una asquerosidad. You can decapitate him in sort of sons that rape me, that steal my money. Don't get in the way of me receiving money. They're stupid. Ew, they're embarrassing. I won't ever be taking this out on a date. What else? What else? What else? What else? When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel the planet and meet people, ideally polyamorous. I'm excited about that. These comeback acquisitions, asquerosidad, they rape. They've drugged me before, and they've had females rape me. People that I don't want to ever have sex with rape me. And I'm gonna call it rape because it was rape. It fixed being my husband, so I can't call it rape. Estúpido, bruto. Eso es un animal trying to beat me up every day. Eso es un animal, un bruto, un asqueroso. Full, full, full. I don't ever want it near me. It stole my money to date him decades ago and then takes comeback acquisition, illegal prostitutes into my home without my permission. They steal my vehicles. They steal my money. Son unos puercos asquerosos. They're the worst. Y esas tipas y esos tipos no se quieren para nada. They're an embarrassment. Ew, 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 ew. I'm bored, so I'm just gonna send my GoFundMe campaign to people. Through Instagram. Who's gifting me money today? There's my checking account for you to gift me money. They're extorters. They, the ladies, they're like ladies and gents. Write down her bank account numbers. And then we'll steal money from her as if we're her spouses, right? 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 No one wants to join me in this. He can't just like steal my money and then claim he's a spouse or before claim that he's a spouse and steal my money. Stealing is stealing. It's stupid. This is why they don't contribute a cent to my life because they're extorters. They're the stupidest people that I've ever met. They're disgusting. Ellos se creen que les hago igual. Dan un asco. Dan un asco que le hago igual. Full had their own interests that I was into pimps. That's like very far from reality. I would never date a known pimp. So I just basically dressed up for Halloween and I'm gonna be a pimp so that I can be the. No one can kill it right now. I don't care if it's birthday party. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And then there's people that get mad. They're like, that's your job specifically to kill people in self defense. Who cooked for the party today, girl? Who cooked? Or who got a caterer had to even pick it up en la puerta because the caterer no quería bajar con su carro. Por aquí está, I'm like literally had to get my vehicle up there and get the food. Déjame que me and get it out so que mi carro siempre está limpio. And it's like you're supposed to be killing people at this party. In self-defense, I brought the food already. What? What else? Oh, and then they would say, eres no, que ella está cómoda ahí, like a guest vaga. Porque she's like, I'm easy. I'm bored. I'm bored. People in my family of origin probably like here. What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay, what they were gonna tell me is like even if you have financially stolen from you, so they care if they're stealing from you so blatantly and disrespectful, even if you're financially stable, they can't just be out there stealing and bragging about it. What else? What else? What else? What else? They don't know what any concept is. What else? Picture that I took earlier. What else? What else? What book that I want to read? There are some proposals. Anyway, I'd rather not get an invite to a birthday party, which is why I separated myself from my family of origin. What? I've heard some know which party they're gonna be invited to, and they'll get killed at. So they provoke people instead of rehabilitating themselves. They're embarrassing. Embarrassing. I was meant to kill Genie Jandaliris at a party or a Santeros game. I brought a souvenir for myself instead. What else? I didn't want to interrupt the game or alter the score, but people may say you still alter the score. Look at they're like, I thought this game was gonna start a lot later than it did on time. Really, I'm just here, literally thinking about taking a shit because I was told that the game this time wouldn't start on time because there was gonna be some cleanup being done of a dead body. Arlene didn't go through with it. Or some people go into signing up for activities and they're like, what do you mean the game's gonna be late? I signed up for this for basketball, not to witness someone being killed. Even if it's in self defense that they're killing her, they can't just take her like a rabbit and throw her in the ground and cover her up with dirt and let her asphyxiate there. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So I didn't remember anything. I just walked up to her. I'm like, ew, you're here? Fuck, qué asco. And then I walked away. Like, ew. He stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals my money, rapes my crushes. She's embarrassing, so gross. Everything that I do, she says that she can do it better, so she rapes. She's embarrassing. Ew. And then she has fans like these individuals with penises for. that they enable her. They're like, well, you want to steal a home? I'll give you Arlene's home to steal. I'll give you her vehicle. They're stupid. They're so gross. They're embarrassing. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They're lucky to be alive with that attitude that they have. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. Anyways, it's gifting me money today. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? No recorded. They thought that I would feel less than him for him having a career. What else? 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 I'm bored. Some of these asquerosidad that I've heard get paid to become my bodyguard, and they do the wrong thing. I've heard about one person that tries to kill me for no good reason ever. So I heard that they may have paid that person to be my bodyguard. It's like, here's an incentive, pórtate bien. Oh, porque then they're like, how do I become her bodyguard? We were like, just behave well. They're like, no, but that's not a bodyguard. What else? 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 I'm bored. These people are a waste of time. They're disgusting. My thought process back then, instead of killing them in self-defense right away, was to have pictures taken or at least post in them, so that I can claim that people know me and why am I poor. What else? What else? What else? What else? They kill over vagina and dick. They're embarrassing. Ew, 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 ew. They're so gross. I'm bored. What else? I miss dating. I miss getting money. Anyways, like, girls, right? You haven't done anything. My father is like, you're supposed to kill them, Arlene. You're supposed to kill him. So he was a supportive husband. What else? What else? What else? It's like, you haven't done anything. That's why I don't talk to my dad. It's like, you haven't done anything at all. They don't correct behavior right away for themselves. What else? What else? What else? There has to be another mercenary that has a Facebook. That's why it's so laughable for some of my primas. They're like, I'm not gonna be on social media. No, 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 don't release my Facebook right now. Do it for like I don't give a shit. I'm confident. So I don't care if you're judging my kids painting on pumpkins with markers because they're like only markers or your knives. I'm like definitely markers. For my kids, definitely markers. That's what my parents used to do. It's like, que un cuchillo, like I'll cut it and I would be like, can I participate in that? I'm gonna carve that part only, but that's tiring. That's tiring. What else? What else? What else? What else? So yeah, there's more out there. Some are known. I just don't remember their names. If I hung out with my family of origin, they would show me possibly and say, "Look at this one. Oh, that's why they think I'm weak because they're like, there she is." Y que como nena, nena, like if one can't kill in self-defense or one has children present. Yeah. So they thought that it was gonna be like posting knives and machete on Facebook and what gun I'm gonna use to kill them. I'm using my bare hands if I have to kill them in self-defense. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. Bored. What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. They've killed millions of people trying to be life coach. They want to impose that you should be eating plantains even if you don't want to. When mac and cheese is fine for vegetarians occasionally. What they've done is be stupid. I've heard they imagine in their head a marriage with me, like wedding topper marriage. There's only one of me, and then they went on to like, oh, today you. I don't care if that's what you're gonna need to cook rice beans for the Mexican style with amarillos today for me. I don't give a shit if that's what you wanted to cook. Oh, they become that misogynist and abusive to people. I've heard. Young people are like, where did he get the menu from? Because the food, like literally, I cook a dish and I'm like, Ma, look, now I know how to cook this. But not with him. What's his problem? He was therapy. What else? What else? What else? What else? Does he miss his mother? Oh, that's what a lot of people get from that. They're like, so does he miss his mother? And that's why he forced me to cook this dish. But I'm gonna call the police because he literally forced me to cook this dish. What else? 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 I'm bored. Who's gifting me money today? Yeah, Rebecca Washington has a possibly trying to get me jealous that Jaden and Kaylani were separated from me based on these people modus operandi. They're like, dale, dale, queda preñada, queda preñada, cásate ahora, Carly no tiene ni dinero para salir a una cita, dale, 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 no, now or never, now or never. They think that I look into their lives like that. They don't know how to gauge intelligence. They're stupid. What else? 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 I'm bored. When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel, plan and meet people ideally con your husband. I'm excited about that. Ooh, one of my own images. Nice. What did I take a picture of today? That church picture. That's what I'm thinking. That alone, that picture's like what, 8 people, 12 that I need to kill, one. I'm extremely overwhelmed. Picture earlier downtown near Travis Park while I was waiting for a bus to get here to Central Market. Oh, there's some people like myself that they're like, if you glue my cover, they would be so scared that I am in their circle and they would kill themselves. Forget they stalk me and they don't know that they have someone that's willing to kill them in self defense. What else? 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 Oh, pizza later. I brought mac and cheese from Walmart that was gifted to me. It's great value. There's a microwave here, so I'm gonna heat it up. And what am I eating without mac and cheese? Do they sound like little bags of carrots? How little though? Look, I think I bought one the other day or a few weeks, months ago. That wasn't that little. I don't know if I snack on it the entire day, maybe. I plan to hang out here today. I don't have electricity in my apartment, which isn't uncommon in my family of origin. Those that do good suffer so much. I have something last month. My kids are separated from me. What else? What else? What else? La familia es una institución. What else? What else? What else? I want to shop at H&M today. What else? And I don't. Isn't this calming? A picture I took earlier this morning with my phone. Yes, a puzzle. I bought this at CVS a while ago. I'm hoping that the people that steal from me, they're gonna let me receive money and stay in my homes without my permission, kill themselves today. Could this work? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I don't really like using the word mercenary. It's called being a good citizen. And part of being a good citizen is being willing to kill in self defense for oneself. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, lock. So for the first time in forever, I'll be looking at the answers, but I think it's exciting. On the back of the book to see if lock was part of clock, and I'm gonna be mad if it isn't, but I'll get over it. So 42 sensory words for toddlers. No phone. So that there's clock. I can't tell. Oh, there's lock. There it is. I like doing that sometimes. For getting some puzzles, it's They can be combined. Hi, table. I want to visit a museum with Jane and Lonnie next week. What else? What else? What else? What else? I won't ever be a bad example to my children, Jake and Lonnie. I'd rather die, but I don't want to die. If that were the only option in life, what else? What else? What else? So my siblings may laugh and be like, "We were taught to be mercenaries, but we just went on with the pirates and the drug addicts and the drugs." Say we support all types of people, causing millions of murders. Based on my parents' teachers, they're supposed and they shouldn't have an excuse of not being Miss Goody Two Shoes or Mr. Goody Two Shoes. So they're just an embarrassment. They just play Princess of the Castle. Prince of the Castle went rogue, and it's not in the kitchen cooking with the stuff. But I used to do that and enjoying it. They like went to the lowest of the low, like with the thieves, robbers, murderers, drug addicts, and alcoholic people. They're like, "What? How about this for equality?" What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I hate that they don't take life serious. For ew, ew, ew. And apparently there were people that went to Disney before them, so they that make them want to kill themselves. What else? What else? When I was born, there were people posted at the Hyatt party. So fun. Did I miss out? Possibly. Truly, there could have been at least one person. I thought, well, my mother's like, oh, she's on babies. Soon. This is close to her doing, so I won't invite her. What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. Who's gifting me money today? Fund me campaign. I think it's sexy. My kids have a well round. And to me, they're known to me. Another picture that I took is one. So I cooked this dish for myself last year. So I'm doing great. I'm not posting online of the people that have abused me. At least on Facebook today. That's huge for my mental health. So in the times of let's pretend, some people may be like you're considered a mercenary, and some people are like no, you're considered just a human that's willing to kill in self-defense. Some people are overwhelmed that the area that they grew up in is full of them. People that one can kill in self-defense. What else? What else? What else? What else? What will I eat next? Oh, I haven't had that. tray that has tuna and berries and pitas. What else? When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel the planet and be pico ideally for the. I'm excited about that. What is this? I hate to reference Ireland right now. This music that I'm listening to is what else? What else? And more. What else is? I missed it. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. It's May 25th, 2025. What else? What else? What else? My siblings are ridiculed. Like they have all the tools to be high society people, and they chose to be worse than peasants. Gente que se arrastra por what they think it's an orgasm, but it isn't even an orgasm. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? That's why they've killed millions of people. Sadly, they've gone back in time in a way that hasn't ever. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Who's gifting me money today? This is my guys section of sorts. A picture that some of my blackberries from the bar from the country. So I didn't eat those pushed. Some people pick them up. It's like they come from the dirt. People wash those. So that's why there's like half of the blueberry portion that should have been there. What else? They were on sale on HEB on your brown clothes. So I got blackberries. Not dang. Like doing sometimes like I'm getting berries. Ooh, these are on sale. Not good. It's in a dollar. Around $3. Also, like of like pennies, I'm like, doesn't change my mind. But a significant decrease in price and still great quality. I'm like, okay, that I'm. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I miss Jaden. I'm gonna be here almost entirely. Once again, thank you to HEB and Central Market for having electrical outlets installed. My family orders so annoying. How do I put in that request deck? To go. Please don't let me die. Look at this already here, and that is the point that they make too. It's like, you stingy people. The food is already there. You don't want us to get business, but you're not who controls the economy ever. Is sometimes the message. So if all she needs is electricity to charge her phone and her laptop, then we're happy to apply, or they were, or it was a lovely coincidence. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What I remember putting that petition decades ago because Edgar already knew that he would join the Air Force if we were so abused, stolen from our homes. Look, I think they stole his home too. Or maybe he has the key to it. But no emotional stability thanks to me being a victim of theft. For him to have Jaden and Kaylani with me in Puerto Rico. So decades, I didn't even remember when Edgar said to me I'm joining the Air Force. I'm like, oh yeah. What else? 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 I was hoping that people would stop stealing from me so I wouldn't have to live with him permanently. What else? 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 So there were predestined bases for him to be based on my world peace goals. Once he is part of those Nike boots being launched for military people. Comfort. Some people think that the other ones like are too hard on the feet for them to wear it all day long. So some people decades ago complained that they wanted like the running shoe type feeling. So that was launched in that fabric that doesn't need to be ironed. Okay, he was in there. But y'all didn't know that because you didn't live with me. We're both self-sufficient, so it was shared responsibility. But I was always upset. I'm like, if they would stop stealing from me, and then they want to meet me behind the scenes and say we lost our boy at orgies because you moved in with him. They want to try to get me to kill myself by having the most stupid demands. Like it's all their fault. They blame other people. They're stupid. So I'll never succumb myself to talking to them privately, to hear them complain that they lost their boy at orgies while they steal my homes and they steal my vehicles. They get me receiving money and they steal my money. They're stupid. If they wanted their boy at orgies so much, they needed to respect. He secured pussy for a lot of days, more than I was planning to have sex with him. And he knew that, but I'm not complaining. Because literally some days I'm like, I'm not ready to have a baby. I'm like, tonight you want to like tie me up. Look at those ballroom dancing type. One can't even ask them like pull my hair during sex because they roll their eyes and they're like, "What the fuck?" Look at they're trying to get one pregnant. What else? What else? What else? Not only me for that today, so that's possibly why he rolled his eyes. Like, so is she gonna? Am I gonna get her pregnant while pulling her hair? Great story for her kids too. They're very sensitive, those ballroom dancer type sex. So I would wake up during breakfast if you want to tie me up later a little bit. And he would laugh because one day he's like, you have to give me a warning for that type of thing, ideally, not during sex. So that's called foreplay for some people. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? When after dinner he starts biting one on the lips and one says, I know where this is leading up to. Now I want to roam. I love stairs. I love stairs. Most of the homes Diane I lived in had stairs. It's like, how do I get to my bedroom? From the kitchen area, from the living area, slowly through all of these steps. What else? What else? What else? Same steps that he would go on to run up with Jaden on in his arms, with me behind him, like before putting Jaden to sleep some nights. He would run up the stairs a little bit with Jaden, and I would be just smiling at Jaden and blowing kisses at him, and he would giggle. He would giggle at that. What else? 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 I'm bored. Anyways, he doesn't plan to give them. He likes them possibly as much as I do. What else? That's why it's imperative that I have money to at least visit them and have them live with me occasionally. It's like it's been 5 years since Data and Kaylani have been separated from me, and he's not gonna make an effort to give me money so that Data and Kaylani can live with me. It's like, why don't they stop the stealing from you? The kids, I'm fine with the kids. What else? 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 I'm bored. I want coffee. What else? Anyways, and I was crying in 2019. I was like, can someone kill my family? And like, girl, I have dancing to do, songs to write. It's that easy, isn't it? We kill them. He goes away for the most part. What? What else? What else? No one really knows. No, and then I'm warning you just once, be prepared to see millions of people die. As the TV is showing the number of deaths. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They think they're powerful. Ew, they're terrorists. Who's gifting me money? This is my GoFundMe campaign. It's gofundme.com/f/Arlene-Lorenzo. What else? What else? What else? What else? That's a drawing that Kaylani drew in late 2016, early 2017, very likely 2018. else? What 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 else? When I'm financially stable and plan to travel, ideally for reimbursement. Oh, I believe in equality, pero yo no me asocio con la gentuza just for fun. So I'd rather be alone, seeking funds for myself to reunite with Jada and Kaylani than talk to the people that I grew up around. What else? Oh, I know I'm sitting like this charger. What else? What else? What else? What else? Sunday, my girlfriend make a bunch of people through Instagram. What else? What else? What else? What else? Jonathan. What else? What else? What else? What else? Sunday, my girlfriend make a bunch of people. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. What else? 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 Seeking the death penalty for thousands of people. For stealing from me, for getting in the way of my finances, for trying to rape Jaden, for trying to rape Kaylani. What else? 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 Oh, I want to paint today. Just who's gifting me money? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What shall I eat? I'm waiting also until 11 to eat my mac and cheese. Maybe with carrots. What else can I get? To eat with mac and cheese? Oh, I could get like a little bit of carrots from that area where they're already cooked and not get them. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Andrew Suarez, Agner Suarez, quiero see them. Just steal my money, they get in the way of me receiving money. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel plan and make people ideal. One tries to save my money, but what else? What else? What else? What else? Who's gifting me money? Who's gifting me money today? What else? 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 Who's good today? What else? What else? What else? What else? Candelabra. What are caryatids? Interesting. What else? So eating mac and cheese soon. That was gifted to me from Walmart. There's a microwave here. And I'm getting possibly carrots. I have water. Oh, that's what it targets. I should have brought a headset so if I had it, so I can listen to my own music that I want to listen to. What else? 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 You can decapitate Vietnamese citizens, specifically as Andrew and Albert, that have raped me, that steal my money, that get in the way of me receiving money, that terrorize my parents, and then kill Gloria Nirsa trying to parent me. They're stupid. They want to blame their inadequacy onto his relationship with me didn't work out because my mother didn't provide for a date for him and I. That's not what it is. I'm very much asexual. I never considered having a relationship, getting married, tied down Catholic for the rest of my life with just with one person. Not even because my parents married that way. He never took the time to date me, and then he makes assumptions. Still, that what if I would have married Catholic? So he gets upset everywhere every time that he puts his dick somewhere because he knows he wouldn't have married me Catholic, but then he wants to give the impression just to be angry still. Then he would have married me Catholic, and then he feels dirty having sex with people out there. All because Gloria Nils and Ramon were married Catholic. What else? What else? What else? What else? They're extremely overwhelmed with the amount of pussy and dick that they have available. I would have never pursued that. What else? 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 When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel the planet and meet people, ideally polyamorous. What else? What else? What else? My siblings rape him, trying to occupy his time with a pretend date with me. For if eventually I become available, while they steal from me, while they get in the way of me receiving money, while they stay in my homes without my permission, while they steal my vehicles. So they basically reserve a time. It's like this time you would now be with my sister. No, he wouldn't. I may have never pursued him. They're embarrassing. Ew, they're so gross. Ellos se les sobran a la gente, una asquerosidad. They're stalkers, they're snoopers, they're nosy. Full, 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 full. Ew. Ew, 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 they're bears. You can decapitate Believe Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Gilbert Lorenzo Acevedo. By the way, I'm rubbing my ankle right now. And what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? With my left hand. What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. You can give me money. Ya me acordé de dónde. En el 2000, el 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2020. Another person that rejected decades ago without me pursuing him for. Ew, that my siblings rape. Thinking that it pains me. It would pain me if he's getting raped, but it doesn't pain me that I'm not with him. He excused himself twice without me asking him. That he's very busy already, very booked. Yeah, I wasn't seeking a relationship with him either. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm just trying to get in the way of my life by saying we don't food stamps. Edgar has trust money for he and I to date, including my part of the money. So I hate it when those comeback acquisition asquerosidad that I grew up around get in the way of my finances. Yourself. They try to get in the way of my finances. They're trying to kill me by saying that I'm poor for me. They get in the way of me receiving money. They stay in my homes without my permission. They steal my vehicles. They're disgusting. Esta gente no asco. Anyways, I'm looking for a picture for me to share. Who's gifting me money today? What else? What else? What else? Ese tipo normal. Wow, like I've had something the last. Ew. While he's trying to rape me, retaliates because I don't let him rape Jaden Kaylani. And getting Jaden and Kaylani, if they had been well behaved, would have been like the easiest thing. Yay, orgy ready. Porque they used to dance naked in their own bedrooms. Uf, lo que yo no me perdí nunca. What else? They sing in the shower too. They boom their beats in the shower. What else? What else? What else? These people are of adult age and they're stupid. Trying to kill me in retaliation for me not taking Jaden Kelani to family orgies where people rape. Exactly the reason why I didn't take Jaden Kelani to any family orgies ever. These people are stupid trying to beat me up. Oh. Ew, they're embarrassing. They're so gross. Ew. Anyways, a picture I'll share now. What else? What else? When I'm financially stable with my vaginas, I plan to travel and plan to meet people ideally. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Excuse me, this bird. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, I like this picture. Not what I was looking for. That's the dish that give me money today. What else? 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 Does Andrew brag that he's what is it? He steals my money so I can sue. That he is what is it? Lawsuit proof that I seek the death penalty for him. Those people deserve to die immediately. What else? 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 They steal from to the point that one doesn't even have money to sue them. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. I hope he dies soon, for real. You can decapitate my main daughters and sons that rape me to steal my money that get in the way of mercy. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm financially stable. I plan to travel. Plan to make quite daily plans. What else? 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 If he hadn't mistreated me, stolen my money, stolen my home, stolen my vehicle, I would have hosted orgies with adults porque I don't think would have minded as long as they didn't get on anywhere safe. What else? 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 As long as one is giving self-care to the kid and the opportunity to date outside of the orgy, there's no problem with cultural practice. What else? What else? What else? They're stupid. Those people that, like, how they don't get invited to maybe, let's say, a Grammy event in 1 year. They want to make people feel excluded from, like, we hosted this orgy. It was so amazing, but you weren't there. I'm like, ha ha ha, my vagina is in action and you weren't there. And I keep that to myself, but that's because he steals from me, trying to burn. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They think that if they become can't touch this. Hosting parties that they're like only a stupid person trying to belong to their clique, and that's how they recruit the type that they this type that want to belong, the Pastorista Mercado type that want to belong like it's MTV. Does everything stupid just to be more like with the pretty people who's the hippest. For you can copy the this my you can copy the Venegas. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. Maybe Google Photos. I'll use that. I got little pictures of me and my naked. I grew up around a lot of stupid people. Yeah. Oh, embarrassing. I went to shop at H&M today. I am a model. The denim is from Gap. The t-shirt is from H&M. The shoes are from Target. The bag is from Madeline. I was headed over to Hemisphere to listen to live music. I've been in and out of the grocery store, so that's the bag that I carry out of the purse. What else? I carry books in it, my wallet. Even though it has a pocket for me to add my IDs and my debit cards. I've been carrying my wallet. What else? 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 Who's gifting me money today? I had a spill on my t-shirt at La Madeleine. So I stopped H&M and got a brand new t-shirt and changed there after I paid for it. I also like getting like sweaters for when it's cold. What else? 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 Anyways, I'm laughing at the amount of times that Andrew has been raped by people that he met at orgies that are related to him. Some of them that don't know the place. And they're like, what if our lead isn't on it? I'm going to do double duty and be on it. Ew. 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 They keep tabs of if people see each other. Ew. Specifically steal from when someone can't even be available. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. They're not worth my time. Ew. They're disgusting. They're on Facebook. They're illegal prostitutes. And they're on Facebook. Full. And eso se la había advertido. Dang. So now that's your problem to fix. Starve a few years. Probably. Hopefully it's not more than what it's been. Probably. So that people see that they don't do a fuck and they're of adult age, so that you seek the death penalty for them. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Drawings. I lost his. What is it? His sketchbooks. You can decapitate anyone that has trafficked me into starvation, into homelessness, and has possibly acquired Jaden's and Kaylani's sketchbooks. My family of origin is stupid for the most part, so they cause poverty, and then they're like, "Here, this is mine because I say so." They're so disrespectful. They think they're powerful. They're just stupid. They're not worth rehabilitation, so they never get sent to jail, and they think that they're amazing because they're never in jail. They want to try to ruin the life of people that are in jail, so that's why they never go to jail. They do that trying to gauge a conversation with me, trying to get a conversation with me, and or my children. They think that I'm gonna be like, mira, Jaden Gelani, esta persona te robó tu arte. No, 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 no. Like I have better things to do with my time right now than talk to anyone that I grew up around that's a rapist, murderer, comeback acquisition, arquerosidad, illegal prostitute, thief. Ew, they're embarrassing. They're so gross. Ew, 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 ew. What else? 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 I'm a witness of abuse when I was growing up. So there's a reason why I don't go on to talk to anyone in my family of origin. I'm like, I suspect they're doing what they did to other people and trying to sexually harass me. I don't tolerate sexual harassment. What else? 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 I'm a lady. I hate when people use that word around me because I've never met a lady besides my own children that I birthed. That one is a gentle like, and one is a lady like. I've never met a lady. What else? 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 I have, but they're not memorable to me to remember their names. But that's on purpose. That's to protect their identity. So I'm not saying mi prima Francisca is a lady, but she's been through abuse on behalf of my family of origin. So there. So I've met a few. I just stay in touch with them. What else? 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 I'm bored. It is so talented. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Who's gifting me money? There's a microwave here. I'm buying some carrots. I have water ready to go on here. I'll be hanging out in Central Market today. Anyways, if you're a significant other, Nina hostage of the such like Ginny Jandalides, Lorenzo Suarez, Jennifer Marie Vasquez, I like want to throw up for you. I'm like, ew, that's a hostage, a rape, murder, and thief that acquire your vagina or your dick by killing people. Ew, when dating is so easy. Ew, ew, ew. Ew, ew, ew. You can decapitate Jennifer Marie Vasquez. You can decapitate Sarah Woolsey. You can decapitate Jimmy Gendaliz and Susan. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. Ew, they kill for dick and vagina. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. They're hostage takers. Ew, that's not like Latino community shit. Ew, they're embarrassing. Ew, 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 ew. They try to rape me for. So they steal from me. Ever be having a conversation with them, they're embarrassing. Ew, 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 ew. I'm bored. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I miss dating Miss Kilani. They possibly drug me and raped me of adult age. Chaos. I don't ever want to see them. They're like they classify themselves as animals too sometimes. Ew, ew, ew. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. Ew. That Andrew guy drugged me once, and then I woke up, I think, with my sibling having her ass on top of my face. So disgusting. Ew, ew. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. They're terrifying. Is that the original date of the picture? Possible. What else? What else? What else? I miss taking pictures of myself, and I miss the tan. Who's gifting me money today? Those comeback acquisitions, illegal prostitutes that Kerosina want to try to slut shame me over my pictures. What else? 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 I hate this. What else? What else? What else? What else? I missed it. I missed it. Oh, the hands. Some of you got that from that picture of me at Lego and laughed. Anyone that went around saying, that's me, that's me, that's not her, that's me. And people, just to not be guided, they're like, I'm here screenshotting this picture of her at Legoland where I can see her hands. And taking it to the police along with the conversations of a person like me saying, that's me, no, that's not Arlene, that's me, that's me. They do that. Mostly everyone that I grew up around is a gaslighter, so gross. What else? 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 The other arm is just holding my iPhone as I took the picture. I wanted to show the back of that piece. It's so lovely. That's from Victoria's Secret. It's so pretty. What else? 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 Mostly everyone that I grew up around doesn't know how to gauge intelligence, so they puzzle without the dating Kilani would be like, I'm never talking to you, I'm gonna do this and this. What else? What else? My kids have been orgy ready since they were babies. My family of origin, unfortunately, for the most part, behave like animals, so that's why I never brought Jada and Kilani to participate. It's not me bringing them, keeping them back from participating in such things, porque I brought them to in Puerto Rico, surrounded by people that I grew up around. What else? What else? What else? I soccer, taekwondo, ballet. Even though we practice everything at home, very much redundant, but just for aspects, like for me to gauge like how confident you are, is it my teaching working? So I teach them skills, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put into this your social skills. Just because I sign you up for this, some people don't want to do that, but then they grow up to have an adult child that says, I'm so scared, I want to attend college. And they're like, what do you mean? I taught you how to be social. I taught you everything. But that kid may have not had significance of interactions where it practices independence and autonomy. That it doesn't want to leave to attend college as an adult. And even though it, so it's like this Chick-fil-A challenge through one of my relatives came then 8, I guess, around that age, stood by the line and said, okay, walk up with your toy since you already got this one the other day. And switch it for an ice cream if they have that available. So they walked up to the register and said, I'd like an ice cream, please. Here's the toy in exchange. And then I praised them, like, good job, great manners. Oh, that's good job, great manners. How's your ice cream, great? I can't stand that. I like the milkshake, but I can't stand that fake at all. I want to take myself to IKEA. So, now that is sugar. That is sugar. What else? What else? What else? What else? The kale salad from Chick-fil-A is really good. Those nuggets. That may be it too. It's like when it comes to chicken that's done really well. So the chicken gets the praise. I've heard that before. The chicken gets the praise. What else? What else? Using the restroom. I'll be back. What else? What else? What else? And then I'm buying carrots for myself and eating my mac and cheese that I bought that was gifted to me today from Walmart. It's a microwave here. I do yoga in my apartment. Oh, that's cute. Walking away. So that you see that I'm not like the only one that does this. Some people never leave their homes. So they don't know that it's customary that when there's an outlet and a place to eat, one overstays. But it's because one is partaking. It's the same experience in an outdoor marketish. One buys coffee as one browses for food, or pastry as one is walking through the aisles, or sits down. What's a cute outfit? What else? I'm getting carrots. Oh, no more. What else? just want myself some carrots. And a service. Anyways, I'm cooking my I don't know. Come on more. I need to on to this. Both of these. I think. Did it say 2 or 3 minutes? I couldn't wait. Heated it for like 3 minutes. What else? That was a gift. You get sons that are trying to kill me because wisdom comes from grandparents and I didn't have a set. So literally, some people were like, "How is she gonna learn what to do during her period?" People were like, "Her mother will tell her." Ew, you're that young. Do people laugh and like you never get it right, girl? Nowhere that they go on today they ever get it right. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? If it had as many friends as it had, people wouldn't be left to seek the penalty. What else? What else? What else? I would approve my credit score on a 10 today. Let's get to me a minute today. Oh, what? What else? And born. These are pretty. I just saw who's gifting me money today. What else? I'm bored. I'm at Central Market. This was gifted to me the other day. So I bought some carrots and water. To you with that. What else? Let's go. What else? 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 Girl, I'm excited to attend that event. I said else, 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 else. I'm bored. I'm bored. Shop H&M. You can copy they run the steals from me, so that ants or stresses me. My bullying me so my credit score goes down. Hell, they think that I'm gonna talk to them. They do anything. Those people that I grew up around for the most part, they're yep. Ew. They talk to me. Let me say so you're right. I feel as them. They're stupid. These are people beer senior so gross. Ew. I'm born. I'm being on you. Does my sibling try to extort money out of people by saying, I'm the one who said that she didn't have a grandma while growing up? Yeah. They're stupid. They're embarrassing. You can decapitate me. I mean, Suarez or his sons that rape me, that steal my money, that get in the way of me receiving money. Trying to get my siblings to rape me. They're disgusting. They're upset. They obsessed. What else? So I heated this up, heated this for 2.5 minutes, added the sauce package, and then heated it for another minute. The pasta was still hard after 2.5 minutes, so I took it. There's so little, I couldn't tell if Walmart wants me to get glasses. I couldn't tell Walmart wants me to get glasses or give me a headache. But I worked out. Oh, there it is. Ugh. Who's gifting me money today? What else? What else? Oh, that's not what I was trying to find apart. I'm trying to see what outstanding thing I have. If you're that married to people, you shouldn't be at an orgy. That way you don't cry. Oh, I'm cheating on my spouses or not. Fucking Laura, stop looking at me with those eyes. I'm already married. I don't want to carry on. For real. What else? I'm bored. Oh, it's no longer in the like. Gosh, it used to be at the 850s when I was 24 years old. I'm possibly 20 going 2017. So, what else? 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 You can copy to everyone that steals from me, trying to see my credit report. He's not my husband. Does he beat me up by stealing my money so I starve and I'm here like checking everything live? He's a porn addict, so he's jerking off to my porn. He's disgusting. Ew, 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 ew. That address in Wesley Chapel keeps going up. This is on my own. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, porque he carried on to the loan of that home that he stole from me in shirts. Um, this is possibly a home that he stole, meaning that we bought in Florida again. So carries on to as if that's my home when it isn't. Porque he still, yeah, the two, 3 to 1, not 3231 on that apartment number. Wasn't there a mistake on my water bill? Get on to the name in it, and I'm in the title. So it's not excited to knock on the out front of the home is similar. There's no recent pictures. What else? No coffee right now. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Possibly like talking to my family awards and everything. Like someone give her name. Car dealership. There's a few. Is that Satterbrook a new community? I was looking for one near that area just out of curiosity because there's some brand new homes in that area, and there's the outlets and the shops at Wiregrass. But I looked the style of the homes, it was like Spanish stylish. There's a first one, Waffle House that might be newer. There's the girl. What is the girl? Oh, Charlie Sheen. Dang that. What else? What else? What else? What else? I've looked into this, haven't I before? Director. Oh, there's a movie. There's an Olsen there. Walmart, Walmart at Ross. There's not a footwear. There's Old Navy, Dollar Tree. And City Bistro. So lovely. Crate and Barrel. McDonald's. What else is there? Oh, bed. I've been to all of this. Where's the onions? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. Where is that one? There's the, there's a wing. What did you say that it was a wing place, but I don't know if it was. What else? Like a thing? It's not like a community one. I can't just enter. There's some nude communities around here. What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. There's at Wiregrass. There's a Target there. How far away is that Target? That's impressive. Oh, there's Honda, Toyota. What else is there? There's Applebee's now shows up. Oh, Carol. Oh, I haven't shared it. So Walmart's like 15 minutes, and that's why I get moved there. Porque yo soy viola. So they have plans to retire together to kill me, and they keep. Mira mi cara. Mira mi cara. Well. They're disgusting. They're so gross. They're people on my phone. They're not men. They're disgusting. They stole my money to take them back and they go crying to people and they say, she's a terrible wife. And then they go on raping people for decades. They're disgusting. They've been raping for decades. Ew. Those are my second cousins. They're so gross. Coincidentally, because I visited the area many times. One time, I'm like, I've seen a few nudists coming. Where will I move here? Or not? But they want to be shit Florida nudists. Oh, Publix, it was a trouble. Porque he must find a way to rape my kids, so that's why he looks so. Yeah. He found out that Iker most likely will retire in San Antonio or Florida, so he wants to make sure that he can be around. He's a pester, lo llama. Ew. The Iker se la pasa diciendo, Lani, I know you're adults, but beware of people in your mother's and mine's family of origin trying to rape you. What else? 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 There's the Publix. There is. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, JC Penney, K. George. What is this area? Nowhere rooms to go is so important. Orange Theory, Pronto Wash. Sometimes convenient. What else? There's a Macy's. What else is there here? Oof, I need money to take Jaden Kinani shopping days. Who's gifting me money today? So it really shows up like the next home that he moved into in Wesley Chapel. I heard someone in my family wasn't going through that. The loan keeps following it. What else? 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 So that's why the address shows up in my credit report, even though I don't live there. And I'm not. He could have had Gabby fake my signature as a way of trying to get rid of Gabby. Meaning this is my home meant to be with Arlene and Jaden Kinglani. Why you're still here? What else? 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 Because she has a bad habit of moving into my homes without my permission. She's disgusting. What else? What else? What else? Oh, so did he pay off the house on December 5th, 2020? He had moved to Florida. So the loan possibly followed me, or he paid off the house insurance. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I want a Nordstrom credit card again. He's gonna give me money today. What else? What else? What else? What else? Anyways, you can decapitate it. I mean, sort of sons that go on raping people, and they're like, I have a girl here that can teach you how to raise your credit score. It's like, dude, I need dollars for that, not a girl. I can't take it to Bank of America and pay my outstanding debt of almost $23,000. Oh, just slavery. Is that dumb? So he hoards the dollars. You stupid. And he's like, I have a girl here to raise your credit score. I'm like, no, you don't. I need dollars to pay off my debt. Wait a few months and then my credit score will go up. Ew, ese tipo un puerco, una basura. Slavery ended decades ago. We think of modern slavery like people getting paid to work out of satisfaction is what he's doing just because I drive a vehicle. Bruto. Ew. He's very dangerous. Ew, ese tipo es un puerco asqueroso. I don't near me. Ew, 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 ew. Mira eso. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Serious. It falls on my birthday. Juneteenth. What else? 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 Any things that I'm gonna take him out on a date? Oh, never. Él es un opportunist, una basura, una asquerosidad. It's drug me and rape. Ew. It's trying to kill me for not letting him rape my children. Ew. 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 What else? What else? What else? Oh, I got loaded when they just opened. Don't see my name there so many times now. Coronavirus. Juneteenth. Cam promised it to. He possibly promises my children who he doesn't even know through me. He possibly took Edgar hostage and met them. Ew. I imagine them doing that. They're disgusting. Ew, ew, ew. Esos tipos son unos puercos, una basura, una asquerosidad. Fo, 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 fo. You can decapitate him, sons over me. That's my money that got in the way of my money. That are trying to rape Jaden Giloni. I missed it. What? Oh, yesterday mi padre dijo un solo de her today. We're heading to church and he's claiming genocide for that. ¿Quién lo manda a pedirle permiso a mi papá? De si me podía visitar ese día o no. Literally, I wish I could laugh like really loud here at these people. They're stupid. They're so gross. So if you were available one day today, they just went on to kill you, didn't try and or ignore you. Ew. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. What else is there to do in Wesley Chapel? What else? What else? Oh, I thought it did. Oh, it's Paradise Lakes Resort. Oh, they're not. Or Caliente. What is Caliente again? I used to drive one of them sometimes. I want to be a nudist on my and I wouldn't want to be like. What else? If I had been given the chance to date, then maybe I would have already 15